Ain't a thing just to keep it 100. 100. Ain't a thing just to keep it 100. 100.
In this video, you'll learn how to mix vocals very easily in Ableton Live, as well as other tips and tricks. So what you'll see right here, you'll see a group. And once I highlight that group or whatever, you'll see that the hook main, the hook ad libs, the main vox and main, everything is in there. And there's a reason for that, because I like to group vocals so that way I can save CPU. And you know, if you don't have a powerful laptop or desktop, this is a very good way to work to optimize however you're mixing and use like one plugin, especially when you're recording one artist. So how do you set up a group? So what I'm gonna do is set up a group of all these vocals right here by just holding Control and then left clicking or just tapping on the mouse, and that will set everything up.
Another thing that I like to do with my vocals is take care of the breaths. So there's really 3 ways to deal with the breaths. 1, you can just leave them in. 2, you can just take the breaths out completely. So like this is the breath right here, and just actually let me stretch this out. So right here, you could go right here and just take it out. If you do take it out, I would get this little box right here. That way it doesn't end super abruptly or begin super abruptly. I personally don't like to cut my breaths out. I found that lowering the volume of the breaths just kind of gives the vocal just a more natural sound. That's just me, totally up to you how you want to deal with the breaths.
Before we get into the actual EQing, something to keep in mind is that every vocal is different, and the way that microphones record vocals can also vary. Always use your ears and use the help of visuals to appropriately EQ for each situation.
The first thing that I would like to EQ is my lead vocal. So the first plugin that I'm going to start with is EQ3. So let's say, for example, lows and highs was what I was trying to get rid of.
Thinking back for the hits game, it was all just a good time for ya. Little puppet with a big dream.
Now that sounds pretty cool already. We can control the cutoff point.
Thinking back for the hits game, it was all just a good time for ya. Little puppet with a big dream.
Hey.
Got a one-way to California.
And basically what I'm doing here is I'm cutting out the lows, okay? At about 71 hertz right here is where we're really making the cut. And we're not cutting them completely out. We're just really taking out a large chunk of it, really just bringing down the volume a lot. And then I'm raising the highs a little bit as well, so we have more highs in my voice, okay? So that's what we're doing with our EQ.
Just to remove some of the low end, some mud, and then some of that harshness from the top. For the next thing I have on here, I have a compressor. Yeah, I'm just doing some light compression. All compression is taking the highest part of the sound and the lowest part of the sound and bringing them closer together so that way it's more even. That's all I'm doing on that. And then I have another EQ, which is I'm doing some more subtractive EQ, just some more mud, because a lot of times in this area that could be a problem if you're recording at home. If you're not in a professional studio, a lot of times there's a lot of mud in your vocals. And
that's sounding more like it. Now, I like to do a lot of compression and combine different types of compressors, and since Ableton only has 2 compressors, we're just gonna head over to the other one and let's set up compressor 2. These both are gonna start to get a little bit loud, so we're just gonna run these at maybe like -10.
Hey, yo, Mr. Boombox, can you give me something right?
We're gonna want to achieve the same effect with both compressors, but since they sound slightly different, it's gonna give us just something extra. So let's go.
Hey, yo, Mr. Boombox, can you give me something right? Give me.
I actually like the slow attack.
Hey, yo, Mr. Boombox.
You just gotta turn your out down.
Hey, yo, Mr. Boombox, can you give me something right? Give me something right now.
Setting up the reverb, it already set up a reverb for you. And for me, I like the reverb that's already set up, so I'm not gonna really mess with that, and I'm not gonna drown the vocals in reverbs because it would sound like this.
Work, work, woo! Look how she work, look how she work, yeah!
And even that wouldn't sound right in it with the beat on.
Work, work, woo! Look how.
Very powerful, very annoying, but you know, that might be something you might want in your vocals. Me personally, I don't want my vocals to be drowning in reverb. But this is really good for just bringing the presence of the vocals out. That's why people put reverb on their vocals.
Work, work, woo. Look how she work. Look how she work. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off and show you.
Work, work, woo. Look how she work. Look how she work. Look how she twerk. Work,
See, it kind of seems kind of a little boring. It doesn't have enough presence to it. So
work, work, woo. Look how she work. Look how she work. Look how she twerk. Work, yeah. Look how.
and it just widens and livens up the vocals.
Next, I'm gonna auto tune it. So we want to use Key Finder. That's something I use. It's a free plugin. There's plenty of other ones that you can pay for that are still pretty cheap. Key Finder just works well for me. Most of the time I feel like it works. We got E flat. If it doesn't say minor, it's usually major, so we're gonna do E flat major. I'm just gonna go and grab my auto tune plugin. I like to put that early on, maybe in the beginning. So we're gonna set it to E flat major. Adjust the speed to taste.
That's what I thought you said. Now let me offer.
I've been grinding so you know it's no rest. On the come up so you know I'm gon' flex. Like DJ Khaled said, I know I am the best. They tell me focus and don't worry about the next. Whip it up.
Again, a lot of little changes.
Very simple, very easy to use. After that, I have another compressor, which is doing some more light compression. And then at the very end, I have a limiter just to give it a small boost in volume. That's it. There's no other bells and whistles to this. It's very simple, very straightforward. So, that being said, I'm gonna play it one more time, before and after. This is before.
Yeah, yeah. You don't ever gotta fake it. Go ahead, baby. You can be my cheerleader, not a mascot. No more quarantine, so baby, go take that mask off. Jackpot, don't push them haters to the backdrop. She thicker than a bitch, and she did it without an ass shot. You only hang around the ones who keep it real with you. You ain't for everybody, I don't know how to deal with you. Still, I think we can make it official. You don't gotta be no Barbie, I don't need no artificial. Make it real. You can be my cheerleader, not a mascot. No more quarantine, so baby, go take that mask off. Jackpot, don't push them haters to the backdrop. She thicker than a